Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living Meditation on this beautiful Sunday morning as we're leaning into fall. We're not quite officially there, but it sure feels like it's coming. And so I am Barbara Kane, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner with the Centers for Spiritual Living. And today, our docket will be that I'm going to do a short reading, then we'll go into silent meditation with a music background for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll do a reading to pray us out. So I welcome and invite you to close your outer eyes and to take a nice deep breath and let it out, and to kind of melt into your chair, bed, floor, wherever it is that you're sitting, and just let go of anything that's come before this today, and focus on your breathing. And I'm reading today from 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. I commune with the invisible presence within me until there comes a certainty that is beyond hope, something that enables me to see future as clear-eyed as I see the past. I have the joy of knowing I will live forever. I am aware of the divine within me. Peace, quiet, and confidence flow through my thought. I know that inspiration and guidance are mine. I permit myself to be moved upon by divine intelligence, laying aside every sense of burden or false responsibility, losing all fear and uncertainty from my thought. I enter into my kingdom of good today. I know that this kingdom is accessible to all. I see through all apparent contradictions to the one perfect being in every person. I see through all confusion to the one divine presence at the center of everything. God's world is not a world of illusion, but of realities. All that exists is for the purpose of expressing life. This includes everything: a tree, a rose, my own physical body. And so as we know this, as we're moving into silent meditation, I invite you to just experience that deep peace within yourself. Now I invite you to start bringing your thoughts and your presence back into your bodies and wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're comfortable, open your eyes. And so, precious ones, nothing can be excluded from the omnipresence of the One. It was this presence that Moses communed with through the burning bush, the divine flame that surrounded the bush with an aura of light and color. This flame of divinity penetrates everything. God is ever flowing through me as perfect life. I am a manifestation of the energy, the love, the peace, and the power of Spirit. And so it is. And I invite you all to join us for our regular service, which starts this morning at 10:15. So see you then.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday celebration service of the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, located in Research Triangle, North Carolina. My name is Carol Cross, and I'm one of the licensed practitioners here. My pronouns are she and her. And I'm filling in for our Reverend Dusty Ripplemeyer, who would have loved to be here today, except on Thursday she got a positive COVID test. So she is home following the CDC regimens and eating soup and getting better, and most of all, protecting us from her germs. So we appreciate that, although we know that she is with us in spirit. And we know the divine truth of her wellness and wholeness, and send our love and blessings to her and to everybody in our community who may be dealing with some health issues. So, for those who are not familiar with us, first of all, come back next week when you can get the full Dusty Ripplemeyer experience. But the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that honors all paths and promotes global transformation through personal transformation. We are a spiritual community that can support you as you strive to experience a personal relationship with spirit. A spiritual community where you are respected and accepted for who you are. A place and a space for inspiration, insight, and revelation, as well as loving support to grow into your highest and best self. You are welcome no matter where you are on your path. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries nationwide. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life that is dedicated to transforming lives by providing powerful spiritual principles and practices for our individual lives and exploring new possibilities to assist the world to become a world that works for all. So I'd like to thank Barbara Kane for her wonderful meditation that started off our service this morning, and invite everyone to stand and sing along with our opening congregational song, You and Me, by Eddie Watkins Jr.
Shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is.
And let's welcome Sean to the podium. Sean.
Good morning, everybody. I have a few announcements for us so we can be on the know while we're on the go, right? Okay. Our Wednesday evening services throughout 2024 are called Beyond Sunday. Please join us at 7 on Zoom. The link is available on our Wednesday newsletter or on our website. Join us Wednesday evenings in September for an in-depth look at the Art of Power by world-renowned Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh. Turning the conventional understanding on its head, Thich Nhat Hanh teaches us that true power comes from within, and what we seek we already have. With colorful anecdotes, precise language, and concrete practices, this book will have an important and lasting legacy on how we understand our culture and choose to live our lives. Reverend Dusty will be facilitating the conversations throughout the month. Although reading the book is not required, I encourage you to consider checking it out. Okay, number 2. This is an update to our Gourmets for God announcement. We have sold 83 seats to 9 awesome events this year. We still have seats open to 6 events. You are invited to look at our website to see which events are still open. Buy a seat or seats by submitting the form with your name and how many seats you're buying for that event online that says your answer. Under each photo, submit by the deadline for the event. Don't wait. Seats are first come, first served. You will be notified and given instructions on how to make payment for your seats. Submit any questions about events or your participation to info@trianglecsl.org. Please consider joining us for these wonderful events. Thank you to all of the hosts that, let me just do that one again. Thank you to the actually it's not me, it's on the paper written. Anyway, thanks to all of the hosts and all of the bidders. Okay. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Carol Cross's 3rd workshop scheduled for today has been canceled. The invitation is to plan to attend her 4th workshop to be held on Sunday, December 8th. It is called Crystalline Clarity, a winter spiritual journaling workshop. Carol promises to give a condensed version of the autumn journaling techniques in addition to the full winter program. The winter workshops will be held at 4 Points by Sheraton following our regular Sunday service. Please mark your calendars. Number 4, this is a gentle reminder that we will be online only Sunday, September 22nd. The link will be on the Wednesday newsletter for Wednesday, September 18th, or on the website. All other Sundays during September will be in person and online as usual. And number 5, please mark your calendars with this heads up announcement. Our lunch bunch for our October birthdays will be held on Sunday, September 29th. Please join us to celebrate all of those with birthdays in October. Okay, number 6. On the first Sunday of October, Sunday, October 6th, we will be having a special book signing workshop to celebrate our beloved Reverend Andy Ross's new book, Religion, A Theology for the Here and Now. The invitation is to join mystic, theologian, and all-around cool guy, Andy Ross, for an in-depth look at the phenomenon of religion. From experience to practice, the Spirit guides us in so many distinct ways. Where does religion come from, and where is it going? And most importantly, what is your religion? Let's take a deep dive and see where the Spirit takes us. You'll laugh, you'll think, and hey, you may even learn something. Oh, and you'll get a copy of the book. The workshop is from 12:15 to 2. Bring a sack lunch or grab something from a nearby restaurant and break bread with your community beforehand. The cost is a suggested $25 love offering. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sean. The theme for 2024 is a grand rising. Our theme for the month of September is Pieces into peace. I know, that's why I had to look at it twice. Pieces, P-I-E-C-E-S, into peace, P-E-A-C-E. Reverend Tom Pitman is sharing this wonderful message with us, and his message is waking up to oneness. And now I'm going to read this community's purpose statement. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And now I invite you to close your outer eyes and take a breath, turn within, and open your heart and mind, and allow the sounds of the crystal bowls to wash over you. Now I invite you to start bringing your attention back into the room. And please welcome Reverend Betty Harris, who will be assisting us this morning. The Center for Spiritual Living honors both the truth that we are all created by God out of the same God stuff, and that there is a multiplicity of divine emanations, each individualized and unique in their own way, as represented by this ceremony. The last time I did this, I got emotional. Just want you to know I've got my Kleenex ready should it happen again. Whether this is your first time with us or your 1000th time or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether you are in the room physically or participating via technology or something in between, you are loved and accepted here just as you are. Whether your soul is full of joy and possibility, or your heart is heavy and your mind is consumed with troubles or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you are brand new to the science of mind philosophy or you have practiced it for a long time or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether your skin, eye, and hair color are a rich dark shade or you're the palest tint of color or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you are a straight, cisgender man or woman, or you identify with the LGBTQ plus community or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether your politics tend toward the red side or toward the blue side or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you were born and raised in this country or came here from a different land or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you are married or single or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you are in the first third of your life, the third third of your life, or somewhere in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Whether you feel your connection with God is the driving force in your life, or you aren't sure that you even believe in God, or something in between, you are loved and accepted here, just as you are. Each and every color is beautiful, unique, and significant. They all combine together into an amazing whole. Thank you all for contributing your special vibration to today's service and to life itself. And so it is. Okay, now I invite everyone to close their outer eyes as I speak a blessing on our wonderful service today. And so I am grateful for this beautiful day and to be in the presence of this wonderful company. And I know that this service today blesses each and every one of us, whether you're here in person or whether you're online with us. I know that this energy of love and healing and compassion and growth enters into your energy field and raises you up. And so I bless all the volunteers who helped put the service together this morning. Heather Abbott, who is doing her usual managing behind the scenes and doing the AV. Reverend Tom Pitman, who I know will bring us a most beautiful, inspirational service. And I bless Carol Cross as our Johnny Carson of the day, and Sean for the announcements. And last but not least, Miles and Letha Costin, as they bring us their wonderful gift of song. And I know that whatever you came here for today, you will receive. And so I'm grateful, and so it is. Our reading for today is called Namaste. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. Of course, it's going to be this. I honor the place in you where the whole universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, and of truth. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. There is but one. Namaste. And now, thank God, it's time for our wonderful musical inspiration. Please help me welcome Miles and Letha Costin.
Thank you. discovering one another, exploring, adding on to the love we found. And the river is wide, our love it runs deep, coming down from above again and again. What started so small now is all I can see. Look, a river running out of one drop of rain. One footstep, no hurrying, little easy, no worrying. Love's labor slowly turning into each day brings your sympathy like water rushing over me. It heals me, it's as if you're always mine. And the river is wide, our love it runs deep, coming down from above again and again. What started so small now is all I can see, like a river growing out of one drop of rain. What started so small now is all I can see, like a river growing out of one drop of rain.
Much, Miles and Letha. Was that an original song? It's a beautiful one. And I just loved some of those metaphors because we have so many ways to talk about spirit, and that was a beautiful one. So thank you. And speaking of spirit, one of the things that we believe is that spirit has always got our back, no matter what we may think. And we were so fortunate that we had already scheduled Reverend Tom Pitman to speak today. So we didn't have to do a last-minute scrambling, although being the man that he is, I'm sure he would have come up at the last moment if necessary, because he has had so many leadership roles with our organization. And with Reverend Tom, you get a threefer. So his first career was with the military, so he had a whole military career. And I think if there's anybody who is good to speak about the concept of peace, it's somebody who has fought and defended our freedoms and our peace. So thank you for your service, Reverend Tom. Then he was an attorney with the state of North Carolina, had that whole career. Then he, when he retired from those, he went to ministerial school and became a minister. And he is now, he moved down to Florida, but we were so glad to have him come back with us, and he has his own special focus ministry, as well as supporting us here at TCSL. And of course, all along that, he was also an awesome dad, husband, son, all those good things. So I invite us all to give a warm welcome to the man of the hour, Reverend Tom Pitman.
I just want to meet that guy. Are you at peace with everyone you meet? You don't have to answer that. Don't hold up your hands or anything. But just imagine now, you're looking in the mirror, maybe in your favorite room in the house, in the bathroom, because a mirror in your bathroom, by the way, magnifies. You're looking at the mirror at this person, and you ask them, are you at peace with everyone you meet? That's a tough question. Think about this. I don't know what your answer is. I know what mine is. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it today, the role we play. And if your answer might happen to be no, I'm going to give you some tools that you can carry in your toolkit to help you get to the point where your answer is yes. Now, our theme for today is waking up to oneness. What does the world out there tell us about oneness? Well, right now it's telling us for the next 60 plus days we're going to be bombarded with messages and claims of separateness. And these claims are going to be divisive. Some of them will be cruel. Some of them will be derisive, hate-filled. There'll be name-calling. And there's going to be threats that anger is going to continue well past the election, that there might be demonstrations, there might be riots. There absolutely, certainly, I can guarantee there will be litigation, and it's going to be talked about on the news. Doesn't sound like a very peaceful world, does it? Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "We cannot experience love while we hate. If we would enjoy harmony in our relationships and affairs, we must first become that harmony, which is the very essence of the divine." Now, in this teaching that we call Science of Mind, when we speak of oneness, we often use metaphors. We'll talk about each individual being a single drop in the ocean, and the ocean representing God, and we're all that God is, but we're not God in the sense that we have all that power. Or we might use the metaphor of a single snowflake and the snow of all the snow caps in the world. Or we might use the metaphor of a single grain of sand as opposed to all the grains of sand in the beaches and deserts of the world. It's the same metaphor. It's our same way of saying that each one of us is unique. You know, we even have affirmations about it. We say, each of us is a unique, individualized expression of the love intelligence that creates and governs the universe. Okay, that's good. It sounds intellectual and sweet and everything. Maybe I'll buy into that one. Now, this second one I found was a little harder for me. It says every person is a physical expression of the divine presence. Pretty easy, huh? Except that it says, and I am one with them. Well, I run into people that I'm going, you know, I'm not sure I want to be one with you. I mean, just, it happens, you know, it's the way it is. It's very easy for us in our rational thinking minds to become very confused, and we begin to see separation as a function of our uniqueness. If I look at you and I go, well, you know, I'm pretty sure if I look at Carol, she doesn't look like me. She's younger, prettier, I'm kind of old and gray. And we see these distinctions. It's hard to remember that we are one, and we are one from that one source. You know, humans, our species, we're meaning-making organisms. We like to make up stories. Give us a chance, we'll make a story about anything, but we do it for the purpose of making sense out of the world around us. And as we make these stories, what gives them their spice is the differences. And it's hard not to feel separate if that's what you're doing. And you're making up a story all the time. Now, Ernest Holmes also said, what I believe is true for me. Doesn't mean it's true for you. I may want it to be true for you. I may be telling you it needs to be true for you, but it's only true for me. And the same is true for you. What you believe is true for you. And they don't all have to agree. But now, here's the other piece of that is, once I decide what's true for me, what do I want to do? I want to go hang out with people who believe like I do. It's easier. I don't have to negotiate. I don't have to discuss what we believe. We believe the same. And so we build and give energy to these separations, this separateness. Now, as I was preparing for the talk today, I looked at the information sent from home office and some suggestions it made, and I noticed that there were 3 words that were not only repeated over and over and over there, but there are also 3 words that we use quite frequently in our classes, in our centers, in our podcasts and workshops and things. It's all the time used. And those 3 words were oneness, namaste, and peace. Now, we use them so frequently that we presume we all agree on the meanings. So we very rarely define them. We throw out the word oneness, and we don't say, what does that mean? Or we throw out the word namaste, and we don't explain what it means. And the same is true for peace. But I would suggest to you that if we take them rather than being just words as concepts and practices in our lives, they have significant meaning to ourselves and to others. Because each one of those concepts embodies an aspect of unity and harmony that underlies all existence. So let's take a look at them real quick. Let's take a look at oneness first, because that was the first one I mentioned. And it's the belief that all beings and all things are fundamentally interconnected in some way. Everything in the universe is a manifestation of a single unified source and consciousness. It didn't all come from matter, it's mind and matter. We're religious scientists, so we look for scientific methodology to prove things. And we know that quantum physics tells us that everything in creation is merely energy in motion. Now, some of it moves pretty fast, we can't even see it. And other things seem to be pretty solid, like this lectern here. And it's just energy moving pretty slowly. You know, in the daily, and in one of the, one of the devotions in the Daily Word of Unity magazine earlier this week, it said, God is energy, and all creation is the limitless, boundless supply of spirit. And Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, in his book, How to Speak Religious Science, said, God is creative energy, which is the cause of all things, to the degree that we can experience the presence of God in us, and as us, we shall be whole. So let's take a look at some of the key aspects of oneness. You know, we know that everything in the universe is unique. Yeah. However, nothing exists in isolation. Not even our individual thoughts, emotions, and experiences. So those things that you think are just yours are still energy that is going out into the universe, and it's being shared with others. We don't think that very often, but it in fact happens. Oneness teaches us and emphasizes the non-dual nature of reality. That means distinctions like me and you, distinctions like, self and others, distinctions like mind and body, or subject and object, are simply illusions that we've created. Those are part of those stories. We created them with our thoughts, with our judgments. They're part of those stories that we make up. There's no differences out there. And we know that the world appears diverse, and full of separate forms, but all forms are actually expressions of a single underlying essence, and we know that that essence is God. So when we see others as extensions of ourselves, it becomes natural to act with kindness, to act with understanding, and to promote harmony, mindfully experiencing the present moment without judgments. Did you catch the important part there? It becomes natural. We're made that way. We're created that way. So when you get involved in these discussions of, I'm right, you're wrong, this is good, this is bad, all of those things that we get in, and you get agitated, and you get filled with anger, and then at the end of the day, you feel stressed, you feel exhausted, you don't sleep well. That's because you're doing something that's not natural to you. You as a creation, it's natural as long as you experience seeing others as an extension of yourself. It's natural to want to be kind, to want to be understanding with others. And of course, the last thing about oneness is we notice that if everything is one, if we all are one, then serving others is essentially serving myself. And that means the well-being of others is intrinsically linked to my own well-being. I can't feel a sense of well-being if I look out and I see you suffering and I don't offer some service. Don't have to fix it, don't have to cure it, but the heart has to lead out with an offer of love and understanding. So let's move on to the second concept of namaste. Namaste originates from Sanskrit, and loosely translated, it means I bow to the divine in you. It recognizes that there is a shared divine spirit that resides within each and every one of us inherently. Well, I missed the table again. So think about our reading for today. It says, I honor the place in you that is the same as in me. I honor the place in you where the whole universe exists. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, and of truth. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. There is but one. Namaste. It's important to understand that. It's understanding that namaste acknowledges and recognizes the divine in and as each one of you. It's staying in the present moment. It fosters deeper connections and relationships. It recognizes the unity in existence as transcending the ego. It doesn't say you don't have an ego. It just says that the divine at your inner being is greater than your ego. It helps you to let go of judgments. Now, and it's practiced, of course, quite often with a slight bow, sometimes with our hands together. But an interesting thing about that, and yes, that practice recognizes the sacredness in each other and the mutual respect and the honor that goes along with it. But I want to share a story with you. As you can tell looking at me, I'm not the youngest person in the room. Over the course of my life, I've lived in many different neighborhoods. And during the time that my wife Karen and I, the 5 years that we moved to Tampa, Florida, we lived in a neighborhood of about 300 homes. And it was a very diverse neighborhood. We had people from many, many different countries around the world, many, many different customs, many, many different faith traditions, spoke different languages, and of course they looked and acted differently. And I noticed, and at the time, well, let me add this too. Of all those differences, I would be hard-pressed to say that any one character was a majority in that neighborhood. It was that mixed. It was really quite interesting. And at the time, our 2 dogs were with us, and they were still quite young. And so I would walk them, and they had lots of energy. Plus, they knew if we met other dogs, I had a pocket full of cookies, and everybody got cookies. So there was a secret motive they had for all the walks. But we would walk through the neighborhood, and we would take long walks in the morning and in the evening, sometimes even in the middle of the day. And as we went around this neighborhood, when we first got there, I thought, well, this is one ethnic group or maybe one area of the world. People would come out and they would go, namaste, and greet me and the dogs. Now, having been with the Centers for Spiritual Living for a while, I would answer them namaste. And we went on. And in fact, I'd noticed that as a grandparent would come out holding the hand of a grandchild, they would go namaste with just one hand. I said, oh, that's good. I can do that because I've got the dog's leash in the other hand. And they said, it's the gesture that matters, not the hands. And so I said, well, that's nice. And I began to notice, though, that more and more people did it. And then I realized as time went on that it was cross-culture. It was cross-belief. That many people in that neighborhood, as they walked, would bow, nod their heads, and wish each other namaste. And then I began to notice the longer we lived there that we had a neighborhood of 300 families, and there was very little strife. There wasn't a neighbor who was angry at their other neighbor because of this, that, or the other. They could talk together. They could share together. I was privileged to visit homes that had never had a Westerner visit their home before. I had people visit my home from other countries and other faith traditions that had never been in a Western home. It was just this kind of a neighborhood where the entire atmosphere, the entire thought process of the neighborhood was that we are neighbors. We're meant to be together. Now, I love the neighborhood that we live in here in Garner, but I miss that neighborhood in Florida because it was a living example of namaste. I'll tell you a little bit about our third concept, or the concept of peace. Now, peace arises when you realize and experience the oneness of all things. Notice not just all people, all things. Everything is created from the same substance of the divine. So I know that it's tough when you get bit by a mosquito or something. You go, yeah, that didn't feel very divine. But it was still a creation of the divine. And the interesting thing about peace is it includes both personal peace and global peace. Now, you'll hear us refer to peace, and we talk about inner peace. That's personal peace. Global peace, of course, we know what that sounds like and what we're referring to. But they are both states of harmony that exist on different scales, but they're deeply interconnected. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that is and how that is. Not very long, but I will tell you that peace is more than the absence of conflict or stress or war. It also is harmony with the natural world, where we respectfully preserve it, where we understand that peace with the environment is integral to all peace. We recognize that others' well-being is interconnected with our own. That a fair and just society is when basic needs are met and human rights are respected. That doesn't happen all over the globe, so there's work for us to do. It's work for us to create this state of harmony. It's work for us to create the balance that goes along with it, because knowing inner peace and living it and expressing it changes the collective consciousness, and then it manifests as peace in the world, as part of the global peace. One of my favorite writings by Ernest Holmes is The Sermon by the Sea that he delivered at Asilomar a few months before his transition. And he said, find me 1,000 people in the world who know what religious science is, first part, and use it and live it as it is, and I'll myself live to see a new world, a new heaven, and a new earth here. It only takes 1,000 of us who know this teaching, who live this teaching as it is, who practice it and use it every day, every moment, every breath. And we can change the world. We can have global peace from that small portion. 1,000 can change 8 billion. Now, I promised you some tools for your toolkits. I'm going to give you 4 of them. The first one is believing that people do the best they believe. You know, the author Brene Brown said, all I know is that my life is better when I assume that people are doing their best. It keeps me out of judgment and lets me focus on what is and not what should or could be. I try to believe that everybody is doing the best they believe they can, including me. If they're doing the best they believe they can, then based on their lifetime of experiences I'm not privy to. I don't know what experiences they've had, what may be prompting them to act. I don't know anyone's triggers. But if they're doing the best, then I'm called to compassion rather than judgment. Now, this compassion doesn't overlook terrible beliefs or behaviors. In fact, it holds everyone, including me, accountable for the actions and beliefs that they have chosen to demonstrate. But they're accountable with the energy of love and understanding that helps to heal. It's important and very, very important that we think of ourselves as we're doing this, as we go back and look in that mirror again. I know when I've done the best I believe I can, but it sometimes doesn't work out as well as I would like. So it's important to remember to be gentle with myself and not to beat myself up, not to judge myself. It's important to remember not to judge others when it happens to them. Hold them accountable, but with love and understanding and compassion. The second tool for your toolkit is blessing others. Now, Ernest Holmes felt that blessing others was one of our spiritual practices. It's so easy for us to decide, well, I'll just curse and seek to change people and things that I don't like. If I don't want them, by golly, they need to change. This negative energy, even if it's absent-minded, like criticism or frustration or maybe outright cursing, only keeps things stuck right where they are. Rather, I can choose to bless what I want to release. I can choose to bless and take intentional action towards what I would like to have instead. You see, blessing everything, even that which I judge, helps me realign myself with my good. And it will do that for you. You know, I read about Ernest Holmes, lived in a neighborhood somewhat nicer neighborhood in Southern California, and he used to like to walk through his neighborhood every day, and he would pause momentarily in front of each property, each residence, and he would bless the household, and he would bless the people within. Now, he didn't go up and knock on the door and say, "Hey, can I give you a blessing?" He believed everyone was one, and he knew by blessing them, he was blessing them, he was blessing himself. And he noticed that the attitudes in that neighborhood improved as he did this. A simple practice of giving a blessing as he took his walks. The next tool for your toolbox is self-forgiveness. Notice I said self-forgiveness, not just forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't about people or actions. Forgiveness is about judgments. And it's about the judgments I make. I don't have to forgive anybody or any situation as long as I forgive the judgments I make about them. Now, I can forgive judgments and situations, but that's the first step. Because the next step is to forgive myself for the judgments that I have made about them. I don't stop there. I go to the next step. So I've got some simple statements of forgiveness that I want to offer to you. You know, I forgive myself for judging somebody as a jerk when they have said harsh things or unkind things either to me or about me, and I find out about it. Yeah, it's very, very typical to be defensive and to think, well, they're a jerk. They just don't know what they're talking about. But that's my judgment, so I forgive myself for that. I forgive myself for buying into and believing that what somebody said to or about me was true. And that happens to us every once in a while. We go, oh, well, maybe they're right. Well, I can forgive myself for judging them. I can forgive myself if I've made an error. But I do it with some compassion. Now, this last one, I would suggest to you, is probably the most important of all. I forgive myself for judging myself as fill in the blank. That last blank can be any negative, non-affirming thing I've said for and about myself, whether I said it out loud or just said it to myself. It's important because negative self-talk is the most harmful thing we do. And it's harmful because the universe, the law, always answers yes. So when I say, oh, Tom, you're such a knucklehead, the universe is going, yes, you are, Tom. Yep, that's true. If I say, boy, that was a dumb thing to say or a dumb thing to do, the universe goes, yep, it sure was. So if somebody is judging, if I have judged somebody or I am judging myself, the most important thing to do is stop right then, whether I say it out loud or say it to myself, and say, I forgive myself for judging them. I forgive myself for judging myself. And our final tool for our toolkit is a daily gratitude practice. Most of us have hands, and we have these 10 things that move around. One of the things I teach in my recovery work with folks is that every morning upon arising, I name 10 things for which I am grateful. Usually the first is, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning and I have another day to serve. And then because of my age, the second one is usually, I'm grateful that I got a bathroom close by because I probably need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm grateful that I have a comfy bed to sleep in, a roof over my head, nice clothes to wear, and on and on and on. For those of you who are ultra intense about this, you can look down at your feet and you've got 10 more, so you can do a 20 gratitude. But why it's important is this. when I start my day with gratitude, with a gratitude list, it sets the tone of my attitude for my day. And it opens the way for me to experience feelings of oneness, of namaste, and peace. So let me recap real quick. Oneness is the underlying reality of all existence. It is a foundational truth. Not that it's easy to practice, it just is. Namaste is the expression of oneness in our everyday interactions. It acknowledges and honors the truth of our oneness with everyone. And peace is the natural result of living in alignment with the truth of oneness. It's recognizing, understanding, and practicing that everyone and everything is connected. So when we recognize and honor the divine in ourselves and others, we cultivate a sense of unity in our lives, in the world, and harmony that brings about both personal and global peace, and helps us to create a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you. I invite you now to turn within, close your outer eyes, if you will, while I speak a word of prayer, anchoring our talk today, anchoring our service in the present moment, knowing that there is only one source of all that is, one first cause, one eternal cause of all creation, and that everyone and everybody was created by the very substance of the divine. I know that substance to be the infinite array of love energy vibrating at the level of unconditional love, the highest vibration there can be, the purest love there can be. And it's also the energy of radiant light of divine truth. And it's the energy of the infinite expression of divine good. And that love, that truth, that good is who I am and who each and every one of you are. And each and every person in creation is. And I know this is true because I know that God is all there is. Nothing exists that is not God in expression. And I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this knowing. I'm grateful for the love that we can express. I'm grateful that I can recognize the oneness. And when I look out and my first reaction is to judge and not to hear the voice or see the face of somebody, and it just makes me cringe, I'm grateful that the Spirit reminds me quickly that I am one with that person. They were created out of the same love and light and good from which I was created. And I'm grateful that we can do that. I'm grateful that we can greet each other with the recognition of the divine by saying namaste and bowing in respect and honor. I'm grateful that we can choose to live at peace. For as we live each moment, conscious of the divine within us, peace enters our body and enters our mind, and we can extend that peace throughout the world by living this teaching that I love so dearly. And I know that it is possible to create global peace and to create a world that works for everyone. I am grateful for the fulfillment of this word. I know it's already fulfilled in the divine mind. I'm grateful to know that Spirit is present in and as each one of us. And I release this word into the law that I know always says yes, but also the law that is certain, it's steadfast, it is perfect, it's good, and it's true. And so I join with the universe, invite you to join with the universe and me in affirming this truth by saying together, and so it is. So it is. Thank you. Clean up my mess here later.
All right, let's have another round of applause for Reverend Doug. I always love when Reverend Tom speaks because he always brings us back to the basics, the things I forget, like, ooh, peace is natural. Wow, I got to remember that one. But now is our time for conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. This is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to be a beacon of light and love for ourselves and others. Together, we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts the spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and contributes to the experience of sufficiency in the world. There are several ways that you can give. You can visit our website at www.triangle.org. You can text the word GIVE using the following number, 919-629-9148, or you can mail your gift to our office at PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. So please place your hand on your heart with your gift or an intention, and let's say our affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing God is my source. And so it is. All right, and while the baskets are being passed here in the room at least, let's have an encore performance from our dynamic musical duo, Miles and Letha Costin.
Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart,
Awesome. Thank you. That was wonderful. And thank you, Reverend Tom. That was also wonderful. Thank you. So, let's see. If anyone would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org. On the home page, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form, and we will get the prayers, and all of the ministers and the practitioners will pray, and we will know that perfect right outcome for you. Also, if anyone would like a flower dedication for anyone or anything, please contact Heather Abbott at info@trianglecsl.org or Reverend Dusty at dustyripplemeyer@yahoo.com, and look at this amazing, gorgeous arrangement that Heather made today. So a beautiful celebration for us to enjoy. And one more thing, if you are in a home group or you desire to be in a home group, or if you have questions about a home group, please contact me, Barbara Kane. My email is bbrittonc@yahoo.com. That's bbrittonc@yahoo. And I will reach back out to you because I want to keep track of y'all. It's my job. And now, in the comfort of your home, please stand for our September affirmation. This is a call and response, and please repeat it with meaning. Excerpts from a prayer for world peace by Dr. Ernest Holmes. I know that there is but one mind in which all people live and move and have their being.
I know that there is but one mind in which all people live, move, and have their being.
I know that because the divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity.
I know that because the divine mind has created us all, we are bound together in one infinite and perfect unity.
I am also equally clear that there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern there is an infinite harmony and peace.
I'm also equally clear that there is a divine pattern for humanity, and within this pattern there is infinite harmony and peace.
I know that deep within every person that divine pattern is already implanted.
I know that deep within every person, the divine pattern is already implanted.
I affirm that each person has everything they need within them to allow harmony and peace to flow through them.
I affirm that each person has everything they need within them to allow harmony and peace to flow through them.
I proclaim the possibility of a free interchange of ideas, cultures, and spiritual concepts that allows everyone to experience the good that belongs to all.
I proclaim the possibility of a free interchange of ideas, cultures, and spiritual concepts that allows everyone to experience the good that belongs to all.
I declare that the divine pattern within each of us moves into action and form so that all nations and all people shall live together in harmony and peace forever and ever.
I declare that the divine pattern within each of us moves into action and form, so that all nations and all people shall live together in harmony and peace forever and ever.
And so it is. And now I invite you to sit back down and close your outer eyes, and I will speak a benediction. Wow, so grateful for the incredible information and inspiration that was shared today. I am so grateful, and I am so grateful on behalf of all y'all for that. Because I know that if you take that information, that it is going to bring peace and use it. It'll bring peace and joy to you, and that we will all live in neighborhoods just like the one that was described by Reverend Tom. And all it takes is to just tune in and know the truth about you and me, and that we are all one. And I'm going to read again this beautiful namaste. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. I honor the place in you where the whole universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, and of truth. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. There is but one. Namaste. And so it is.
So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Namaste, y'all. Sending love and light, and we'll see you soon. Bye.